Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the story. Before we begin, take a slow breath. Let your mind become a little quieter and just listen for a moment. Today, we are going to talk about something many people feel, but few people truly understand. The strange feeling that your focus is disappearing. Maybe this has happened to you. You sit down to read a book, but after 2 pages, you check your phone. You open your laptop to work, but suddenly you are watching videos. You try to study, but your mind keeps jumping to something else. A message, a notification, another video, another article. And somehow an hour disappears. If this sounds familiar, you are not alone. Millions of people around the world feel the same thing. They quietly ask themselves one question: why can't I focus anymore? Many people believe the answer is simple. They think they are lazy. They think they lack discipline. They think they just need stronger willpower. But the truth is very different. The real reason is deeper than motivation. Your brain did not suddenly become weak. Your brain is still the same brain humans have had for thousands of years. But the world around you has changed faster than your brain can adapt. To understand this, we need to travel far into the past. Not 10 years ago, not even 100 years ago, but almost 200,000 years ago. For most of human history, life was very different from today. There were no smartphones, no social media, no endless notifications, no videos that never stopped playing. People lived in small groups. Their world was quiet and slow. Their daily life focused on a few important things: finding food, staying safe, taking care of their community. In that environment, attention was a survival tool. If you noticed movement in the grass, it could mean food, or it could mean danger. If you heard a strange sound in the forest, it might save your life. Because of this, the human brain evolved to notice new things quickly. Anything bright, anything sudden, anything different. Your brain learned to say something very important. Look at this. Pay attention to this. This might be important. For thousands of years, this system worked perfectly. But today, something very unusual has happened. The modern world has discovered how to control this system. Every notification on your phone is designed to grab your attention. Every red dot on an app icon is designed to make you curious. Every short video is designed to make you watch one more, and then one more, and then one more. Think about your phone for a moment. It is not just a simple tool. It is a machine built by thousands of engineers, designers, and psychologists. Their goal is simple: to keep your attention for as long as possible. Because in today's world, attention is one of the most valuable things that exist. Companies compete for it. Apps fight for it. Algorithms study it. Your focus has become a resource, and the modern internet is trying to capture it every second. Slowly, without noticing it, something begins to change. Your brain becomes used to constant stimulation. Your brain expects something new every few seconds. Something faster, something brighter, something more exciting. And when the world becomes quiet again, your brain feels uncomfortable. A book suddenly feels slow. Studying feels boring. Deep thinking feels difficult. Not because you are weak, but because your brain has been trained in a completely different environment. An environment that never stops shouting for your attention. And this is where the real problem begins. But the story does not end there. Something even more powerful is happening inside your brain. Every time you check your phone, something small happens. your brain releases a chemical called dopamine. Dopamine is often called the reward chemical. It is the signal that tells your brain something important. Something good just happened. When our ancestors found food, dopamine was released. When they discovered something new, dopamine appeared again. This system helped humans survive. It encouraged curiosity. It rewarded discovery. It pushed people to explore the world. But today, this ancient system is being used in a very different way. Modern technology has learned how to trigger dopamine again and again. Every notification, every new message, every short video, every like on social media, each one gives your brain a tiny reward, and your brain begins to remember that feeling. It begins to want that feeling again, and again, and again. Soon, checking your phone becomes automatic. You do not even think about it. Your hand moves by itself. You unlock your phone. You scroll for a few seconds. Then you close the app. But a few minutes later, you do it again. This pattern slowly changes the way your brain expects stimulation. Your brain begins to prefer short and fast rewards. Quick information, quick entertainment, quick excitement. But deep focus works in the opposite way. Deep focus is slow. It takes patience. It takes silence. It takes time for the brain to settle. But when the brain becomes used to constant stimulation, silence feels uncomfortable. Stillness feels strange. Your mind starts searching for something new, something faster, something easier. And this is why many people struggle when they try to focus. You open a book, but your brain whispers something. This is too slow. You start studying, but your brain suggests something else. Maybe just check your phone for a second. You try to write, but suddenly you remember a video you wanted to watch. This is not a lack of intelligence. It is not a lack of discipline. It is simply how the brain adapts to its environment. And the modern environment is filled with endless stimulation. But there is another problem, something even deeper. Our attention is no longer just being captured. It is being studied. Large technology companies collect enormous amounts of data. They study how long you watch a video. They study what makes you click. They study what makes you stay. Then powerful algorithms learn from this information. These algorithms are designed to show you exactly what keeps you watching, exactly what keeps you scrolling, exactly what keeps you engaged. This means the content you see is not random. It is carefully selected, carefully optimized, carefully designed to hold your attention. One more video, one more post, one more article, and before you realize it, 30 minutes have passed. Then an hour, then sometimes the entire evening. This is not an accident. It is the result of extremely advanced systems competing for one thing: your attention. In today's world, attention has become a powerful currency. Companies earn money when they keep you looking at the screen. The longer you stay, the more valuable your attention becomes. So every platform tries to keep you just a little longer. Autoplay videos start immediately. Infinite scrolling never ends. Notifications appear at the perfect moment. And slowly, day by day, your brain begins to change. Your ability to stay with one idea becomes weaker. Your tolerance for boredom becomes smaller. Your mind begins to expect constant stimulation. And when stimulation disappears, something unusual happens. You feel restless. You feel uncomfortable. You feel the urge to check something, anything, even when nothing important is happening. This is why deep focus feels harder than before. Not because the human brain became worse, but because the modern environment has become too powerful. And yet, there is something important to remember. The brain is not fragile. The brain is incredibly adaptable. Just as it learned distraction, it can also relearn focus. But understanding the problem is the first step. Because once you understand what is happening, you begin to see your attention in a completely different way. Not as a weakness, but as something valuable, something worth protecting. And this realization changes everything. But here is the important part of the story. Your attention is not lost forever. Your brain is not broken. Your mind has simply adapted to a very noisy world. And the amazing thing about the human brain is this: it can adapt again. Just as your brain learned distraction, it can relearn focus. But the process begins with one simple realization. Focus is not just a skill. Focus is an environment. Think about a quiet library. Soft light, no notifications, no noise. In a place like that, focusing feels natural. Now think about the opposite environment. A phone buzzing, messages appearing, videos starting automatically, bright colors everywhere. In that environment, deep focus becomes very difficult. This means something important. If we want to rebuild focus, we must change our environment, not only our motivation. The first step is very simple. Create small islands of silence, moments when your brain can breathe again. This might mean putting your phone in another room. It might mean turning off notifications. It might mean choosing one quiet hour each day. At first, this silence may feel uncomfortable. Your brain will search for stimulation. It will want to check something, anything. But if you stay in that quiet moment, something interesting begins to happen. Your mind slowly becomes calmer. Your thoughts become deeper. Your attention becomes stronger. Focus begins to return. Not suddenly, but gradually, like a muscle that is learning to move again. Another powerful idea is learning to accept boredom. In the modern world, boredom is treated like an enemy. People try to escape it immediately. They open their phones. They play music. They watch something. But boredom is actually a doorway. When the brain is bored, it begins to think. It begins to imagine. It begins to connect ideas. Many creative thoughts appear during quiet, boring moments. Some of the greatest ideas in history came from silence, from walking alone, from sitting quietly, from thinking without distraction. But if every quiet moment is filled with scrolling, the brain never has time to wander. And wandering is where creativity lives. There is also another powerful truth. Attention is one of the most valuable resources in your life. Your time is limited, your energy is limited, and your attention decides where that energy goes. If your attention is constantly scattered, your life becomes scattered. But when your attention becomes focused, something beautiful happens. You begin to experience depth again. Reading becomes immersive. Learning becomes meaningful. Work becomes satisfying. Conversations become richer. Life becomes slower in a good way, more present, more real. And suddenly you begin to notice something surprising. The world was never truly boring. It was only hidden behind constant noise. A simple walk becomes peaceful. A book becomes fascinating. A conversation becomes deeper. Focus allows you to experience these things fully, not partially, not while checking your phone, but completely. This is the real power of attention. It allows you to live more deeply. But protecting your attention requires awareness, because the modern world will always compete for it. Notifications will continue. New platforms will appear. Algorithms will become smarter. The competition for attention will only grow stronger. But once you understand this system, you begin to see it clearly. You begin to notice when something is trying to capture your mind. And slowly, you begin to make different choices. You choose when to give your attention. You choose when to protect it. You choose when to disconnect. These choices may seem small, but over time, they shape your mind. They rebuild your ability to focus. They restore your sense of calm. And most importantly, they return something very valuable: control. Because the goal is not to reject technology. Technology can be useful. It can teach us, connect us, inspire us. But it should serve our attention, not control it. When you begin to take back your focus, something subtle changes. Your thoughts become clearer. Your days feel longer. Your mind feels lighter. And slowly, the ability you thought you lost begins to return. Deep focus, quiet concentration, the simple joy of being fully present with one thing. And maybe that is the most important lesson of all. Your attention is not something to give away without thinking. It is something to protect, something to nurture, something to use carefully. Because where your attention goes, your life follows. So the next time you feel like your focus is disappearing, remember this: your brain is not broken. It is simply responding to the world around it. And when you begin to shape that world more carefully, your mind will follow. Focus will return, slowly, quietly, naturally. Thank you for spending this time with the story. And as always, see you in the next story.